gave us a chance. And hey, listen, they made a big push in the third too. I mean, you know, I thought we held on in the third, but you know, sometimes you have good nights and sometimes you don't. I thought we managed to find a way to get 2 points tonight, but I thought we did a lot of good things early. And you know, an area where I think we absolutely got to tighten things up is our D zone coverage, which has been pretty good, you know, for the most part. The first part of the season, but I think we've gotten a little bit loose in our own end. We've got to do a little bit better job defensively.
A couple of the guys in the room had talked about how they had confidence in and understand what they have in Alex Georgiev as a backup, but then to see what he did in the third overtime in the shootout maybe kind of raised that. Do you sort of feel that way? Yeah, for sure. I mean, you know, I've said this from day one. I mean, he's a guy that really impressed me the first time I saw him, and he's done nothing to change that. If anything, I've grown to think more highly of him as time has gone on here. He does an awful lot of good things on the ice. He's a pro away from the rink already. We have an awful lot of confidence in him, and I'm just happy he got the win. When Neil makes that pass there that becomes a shorthanded goal, is that, as a coach, still getting to know these guys, something you address with him immediately, or do you realize that he realizes it's the wrong thing to do? Yeah, I didn't say a word to him. He knew what happened, and listen, he's been a heck of a player for us for, you know, the whole time, and you know, you're going to make mistakes. That's just going to happen. That's how you recover from them and how you react to them is the key, and that's kind of what we're trying to do as a group. You know, you're going to have some rough moments, but can you manage? You know, can you take a potential 8-minute stretch where you're not going to be good and cut it to 4 minutes? You know, you're just going to have bad stretches, and you know how you manage them and how long you make them are, you know, a key component of winning hockey games.
That goal comes out of a timeout, and then you go down 4-3. Is it possible to overstate how important that VC's goal, a final minute to come in here 4-4?
No, you can't overstate how important that goal was. You know, it really. You know, reset the game for us and gave us a little bit of a good feeling going into the locker room between the second and third. But give them credit. I mean, they played real hard in the third. They made a big push. They had some great chances. Georgie stood tall, and you know, we got 2 valuable road points. You guys get 3 out of 4 on a weekend. That probably tested a lot of emotional elements to this team. How do you emerge emotionally from this weekend and your team? Well, we got another one Monday, you know, so there's no rest for the weary, and we've got to get back. We'll take tomorrow off, and you know, we've got to get better in the areas we've got to improve in. You know, like I said, mainly our D-zone coverage and, you know, transition back into our end, which was a solid part of our game, and we've lost that a little bit. So we'll get back and address that, and you know, continue to do the things that we need to do to produce offense, and you know, just continue to get better daily.
At 4-0 in the shootout, obviously this is a weapon for you. I mean, is it something that you're good at, or is it something that is just one of those things that's happening?
Well, at 4-0, I think I'd say we are good at it. You know, it's the sample's getting bigger, but you'd like to win before it gets to the shootout, but we've managed to win all of our shootouts, and the way this league's structured, they give us a point for it, so we're going to take them.
Do you play the overtime differently, though, knowing that, you know, that you're pretty good in this?
No. We would like to score in overtime. We want to end it as soon as possible, and you know, that's kind of what we'd like to do.
We've talked plenty about Pavel's game along the way. Do you take some encouragement from tonight?
Yeah, I take a lot of encouragement for how he's played the last 3 games, even you know, the 3 games where, you know, the Buffalo game where he didn't get a point, and you know, he's got goals in his last, you know, 2 of his last 3, and points, and you know, he's the player that we know he's capable of being. You know, this is you know, people go crazy when a player sits. You know, I'm still a little bit surprised when the guy sits for not playing well, and somewhere along the line, I don't know where that's become a big deal. You know, no matter who you are, no matter, you know, how long you've been in the league. I mean, where in life do you get to do something if you're not doing it well? You know, so, you know, I wasn't surprised how he's responded, and he's a 23-year-old kid who's incredibly talented, and, you know, we love him as a player and as a kid, and I'm just happy for him that he's been productive offensively.
You spent a lot of the first month trying all different kinds of line combinations to find something that worked. Do you feel like you've settled on some things now that you know are going to be there for you?
Yeah, and I'd love to have some continuity with our lines, but when someone doesn't play well, you know, when one guy sits, there's a domino effect. So, you know, and guys have to learn to play with no matter who they're playing with. But you know, I think we found a little bit of continuity and a little bit of a line combinations that we like. But Zook will be back hopefully Monday, so that'll change things again. So, you know, that's just life in the National Hockey League when guys are in and out, and guys get hurt, and one line changes, so therein lies probably 2 or 3 other lines change too. It's a domino effect. It's certainly not the plan, but that's how it works.